Welcome, everybody, to the Streakers On podcast. As you can see, there's only one of us per box. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to our Instagram and Facebook stories, or I made a post on TikTok with the caption, "What happens when you have to wait for the CEO?" Because
there's only one of me.
That's because Dan couldn't figure out how to copy and paste. So, but anyways, it is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by one Lane Dashing-Co, one Mr. Moore for your money, and one Chazzy 7.2. I have a new theory about Chazzy now. I think for holiday season, he's getting ready to be cooled by eggnog.
Ooh,
yeah.
Picture that. Remember the 7 days of something. Just keep that in mind, everyone. Okay.
Well, Chazzy also has to go.
Grow the beard for that 7 days.
He also has
to.
He has to take some circus lessons for when Aaron Rodgers doesn't play and wears clown suits. He's got to be ready to act like a clown.
Now.
You guys are going to be sorry.
Oh, you will be sorry.
No,
we're talking Super Bowl in Pittsburgh, so
100%.
Super
Bowl.
Goodness.
No.
If they're talking Super Bowl,
only way the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl is if they buy tickets.
If the fans in Pittsburgh are talking Super Bowl, we're at least double digits. We're safe. No problem.
Easy, bro.
Good friend of the program who's a Steelers fan thinks this team will be under 500 and miss the playoffs.
What?
Barkley?
Anyway,
under 500.
Under 500 because the NFL season's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. So if you enjoy small balls and 4 downs, your time is coming. But right now, the Canadian Football League is going into the 8th week, and there are some big stories going on. Should Chad Kelly start if he's healthy? Yes. We're going to get into that. Tre Ford, Cody Fajardo. Who would you start? I don't know.
Really?
Should Bob Dyce still be the head coach of the Ottawa Red Blacks? Some say yes. Lane says no. But does Lane's opinion matter? It does here on the island. Toronto Maple Leaf rumors are going around because Leafs Nation.
They're swirling.
What time of year when they're sitting on the toilet taking a poop at 3 a.m, they have to think about Morgan Riley. Take that as you will. And last but not least, the Toronto Blue Jays just wrapped up a huge series against New York Yankees. So let's get right into that. And before anything, boys, I want to point something out. They have now officially won the season series against the Yankees. That is huge. So now if they're tied going in on the final day and we're tied at the end of the year, the Jays take the tiebreaker. We haven't had that in years. That's huge.
I told you this year was different. I told you going to sprinting camp, I was crazy, and here I am. I said, Rodney's going to sign during the season. What happened? He signed during the season. I said this year was different. What happened? Broke a franchise record going to the All-Star break. Now, even after the All-Star break, we're still number 1 in the division, and we just beat the Yankees 2 series in a row. This year, 60 wins already. Let's go.
You know
what was Bellinger looking at tonight?
No. There's one reason why all this has happened. They got the Battle Pass, boys.
The Fortnite Battle Pass.
Which Dan thinks it's for Minecraft. So you can let him know that Minecraft does not have a Battle Pass.
At least it's a video game.
L'Oreal in Minecraft. But what I've been impressed with this Blue Jay team, and I will admit I'm finally starting to get impressed with this team. I still want to see what they do in August, but I'm starting to believe the hype. They have been finding ways to win. Like there was one game against, I think it was the Athletics. They actually didn't play that great, but they found a way to win. This game, the Yankees made 4 errors. The Jays made none. They found a way to win.
Big errors.
Timely hits, timely pitching, and big defensive plays when it's needed. Now, can they sustain this for another 3 months? Because I'm talking, and I've said this now, is there an excuse if they lose the division? And I'm going to say no.
I'm jumping on that train.
You beat the Yankees in the season series. The Rays suck. And I actually think on paper you're better than the Red Sox. There is no excuse if you lose the division now. You just have to play 60% winning percentage baseball for the rest of the year, which this team should be able to do.
I agree. Honestly, I think when we were talking about this a few weeks ago, it was a little bit too early to talk about the division. That's why I was like, if they don't win the division, but you know what? Now you've beaten the Yankees. You've proven on pretty much on a given night you can beat all the best teams. If the Yankees are one of the best, now you're one of the best teams in the American League. Now it's put up or shut up time at the point. You can't keep saying, well, this and well, that. Well, you're here now, and you've beaten the Yankees in the season series. You're 5-1 this year against the Yankees. It's time to put up, like I said, put up or shut up time.
I think the Jays are at this point now. And I've been saying this for as much as I wasn't quite sure how I felt about this team. I've been saying this in going into the All-Star break. If you're winning the division going into the All-Star break, you're expected to win it. Now, if you're a Yankee fan, I'm sorry, because I don't think I remember.
They're 7-3 this year.
Some of you guys are a wee bit older than me, so maybe you have a more long memory. Do you remember a collapse this bad from the Yankees? They had a 90% chance of winning the division going into June. They are now 4 games behind.
Actually,
the Red Sox are only 2 games behind them.
Do you know what I think is as bad as a collapse, or even worse of a collapse?
The Leafs every
last year's World Series. I mean, the fact that they lost that the way they did, talk about a collapse. Oh my God! So no, this is not the biggest collapse.
Okay, but if you're saying that collapse plus this, how does Boone still have a job? Like seriously,
I honestly don't know. And what our friend Peter, friend of the program, he's been on here before.
Just Stefanese.
Yeah, he's been saying for years since I've known him that Boone's didn't have a job, and he's got all the proof of back that up now. And the way this game was so important, not just to the Jays, but it's important to the Yankees too. If they win this game, they would have won this series after they just got swept in the last series in the beginning of July. And it would have been 3 games back for the league instead of 4 games back in the league. And Boone gets ejected in the 4th inning. I'm sorry, bro, but you got to keep your cool. This is do or die playoff game here, practically.
What you're forgetting there too, Dan, is that the winner of this game won the season series.
Right. So
this game, it's huge.
It's huge. And I gotta give shout out to the Jays too. To prove just how confident they are. We were watching the 9th inning, and I believe it was 0 outs, bottom of the 9th. Yankees had 2 guys on base. So what happens? Aaron Judge walks up to hit the ball. And Rodriguez goes in to pitch and save the game, playing really well. And I said to Jacob, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to walk Aaron Judge because Aaron Judge gets home runs in Toronto quite a bit, as we all know. He even got a home run tonight, 30th, 7th of the year. I thought, well, they're going to walk Aaron Judge and bases are going to be loaded. They actually pitched strikes to him and got him out. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's incredible. What? It shows you how confident he is right now.
Elaine, I believe you have some stats you want to talk about.
Yeah, I just want to go over that season, how it's gone. The Jays are, I stand corrected. Stamps got me here. They're 7-3 because I forgot they did play early in the year. But you take out that early month there when they were 1-2. Just look at all the win. Look at all the W's, as they would say. The season sweep there, and then just that one loss there the other night there, which was a 5-4 loss, which was arguably up until that 9th inning with that Ben Rice home run, which could have been a winnable game for the Jays. But you just look at the stretch they've gone on there through that Canada Day, just those 4 games there, and then winning
a grand slam.
Yeah, the big Canada Day weekend
moment. Holy cow!
And then 2 of 3 years, they just, like I said, this team's found a way to win. I don't know what's gone on in this lineup, but something has changed in the dynamic of that locker room. And they were talking about it on sports, to just the morale, not even the fact that they're winning, but their morale changed. Dan Shulman was talking about, he said, I've never seen this in 7 years where guys are showing up at 8 a.m. waiting for the security to open the door to get in here. He's like, I haven't seen that in almost 10 years, where Bo Bichette and Ernie Clement are standing outside waiting for security so they can come in and practice. And the team is showing up at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. and people are laughing and they can't wait to show up to the building and come in. And like the team, just the dynamic of this team, they're all happy. Everyone's going well. Everyone's playing well. Everyone's getting along. Everyone's like happy and working together and trying to put the best product on for the fans. And it's something that even we were talking about Michael Kay, and he's had some comments about it, and he's backtracked a lot of what he said. Although we didn't get a fight with him and Jamie Campbell, they actually beefed it out there this weekend. But Michael Kay even went on ESPN today, and he backtracked. And he was wrong for saying what he said about the Jays, that they are the best team in the AL. He's like, I gotta admit, I don't know what it is, but this team, I was wrong about them. This team is for real. And the Jays are one of these teams that you might look at them on paper and you might say, they're not the best team on paper, but is this like the Indiana Pacers, where maybe they don't have all the all-stars, but they got a lot of good players in different roles that are able to click? Are we seeing a team dynamic kind of taking over this year, where you don't need the best players, you just need the best team? And I got to give credit to a guy like Miles Straw last night, even though they didn't win the game. A guy like Miles Straw, who's been running around the bases, able to run around first, second, third, make errors, and it's been such a key thing here in this series about the errors, right? The Yankees, they just keep making mistakes. They can make throws to first. Even tonight, Davis Schneider, a basic throw to home. They're throwing it wide here, giving the Jays 2 runs on a throwing error. So the Jays are just taking advantage of little baseball mistakes here, and they're playing their own dynamic to a T. So I don't really know what's going on with the Yankees, because I feel like there's been moments in their season where you think, okay, this is where they're going to take off, and then they don't. Or this will be the moment they blow all the doors up, and then they go lose the 3 in a row. I don't know what it is with this team. I don't know why they can't figure it out, but it seems to not be working. But the Jays, it just feels like keep steamrolling ahead here.
Well, look at how we were talking on the island here a couple of months ago. Let's not forget, we were all saying, is Vladdy going to sign? Are they going to trade him? And then they're going to spring training camp in Florida. And then going into the season, his team's falling apart. Do we give it 10 games so we trade Vladdy? 30 games so we trade Vladdy? Then you look at the Yankees starting the year of the famous bat. I forget the name of the bats, but Torpedo. Thank you, Torpedo. How did I forget that? What a cool name. Torpedo bats and hitting like 17 ones in the game. Now you go fast forward, 4 months, and the ties have just completely changed. And people think I'm crazy, but maybe I've talked about this on the show before. Maybe I haven't. I don't think I have. I think I've talked about it off camera. I think in every generations of J teams, there are legendary moments. Like when you want Joe Carter in World Series winning and jumping over the bases. Then you get Roy Halladay pitching a full 9-inning no-hits game. Rest in peace. Then you get Batista with the bat flip. And I think the fact that George Springer hit a grand slam against the Yankees on Canada Day, which in the regular season in Blue Jay Land, Canada Day is as big as the home opener. It's like the biggest game of the year. I think that was the moment that really set this team and really got this thing going. And
was
really
a moment like this.
Yeah, I really think I'm not saying it's the best moment in Blue Jays history or the best moment in Toronto sports history, but I'm saying every generation of Jays core group have a generation moment. And I think that grand slam from George Springer on Canada Day was a generation moment for this generation of Blue Jays team. It wasn't a playoff.
Now, looking forward, the Blue Jays play the Detroit Tigers coming up. And everybody from the 313, put your mother hands up and follow me. You guys may know that song. I don't know.
Yeah, I know you saw.
Yeah.
I just don't know his name.
Great film. By the way, Eminem has a new movie coming out.
Yeah.
So check that out in theaters. We're not sponsored by Mom Spaghetti, but we could be. But we're looking at the Detroit Tigers, and they're a good team going through a really bad stretch.
1-8.
So they just got clobbered by the Pirates 6-1. Lost all 3 games to the Pirates. Only won 1 game against the Rangers. Lost 3 games against Seattle.
Seattle.
Lost all their games to the last series they won was against the Rays in early July.
Oh boy.
So these are 2 good ball clubs in very different moods.
Right.
And
I still feel for Toronto though. On the road after a tiring series, after an emotional series against the Yankees. If you get a split out of this series, I'm happy. You play 4 games. If you can win 2 of them, I'm happy. You win 3, I'm thrilled. You win 4, I'll open the door just for you, Bo Bichette.
Boom.
I feel with this team, they did what they needed to do against the Yankees. Now you just got to get a series split. You get a series split, you put yourself in a good position to then go against the Orioles, which you should be able to beat the Orioles on your mini road trip. So Jays have put themselves in a really good position to continue through July to keep that momentum going into August.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so I want to ask you guys. Sorry, Lane, go ahead.
It's also worth noting that the Tigers have put Tarek Skubal on the paternity list for his baby. So, if you get lucky, maybe this kid gets born on that day, you might be able to avoid the best pitcher in the American League.
Baby?
Oh, his
He's having a baby, yeah.
He's pitching too.
You know what, boys? I think we need a Streakers Anatomy channel so we can teach Dan a bit about the birds and the bees. Props. Which parent makes the child?
Because he won't miss a start, but you never know. If your kid's born, you're going to run for you. We see it every time. As soon as they get the call,
he got his page on a charity game.
Now, however, I know Chris Bassett did play his game, so maybe he won't miss it. But I think once you get that call, you're right. You don't care where you are. You're running as fast as you can to the hospital.
You know what I'm running as fast as I can do? You know what I'm running fast to do?
What's that?
To get on the Streakers app, because the MLB is in the Streakers app. And the only way to make this Jays run more fun is to download the Streakers app and see what it can really do. So who takes the first game of the series? I'm going to start with Chazzy. Are you taking the Jays or are you taking the
Well, they have Skubal scheduled for game 2 against Barrows. But I'm not going against the Jays. I'm going to take the Jays.
Dashinator?
I'm going Blue Jays. I just think they're kind of got the momentum now. I think the Tigers, especially with their streak, the Jays just won their series against the Yankees. So the team looking to keep the momentum going. They got some good pitchers coming up. I think this rotation has really found its legs here. Varsho should be coming up pretty shortly.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can join the team and help out. I think the Jays are going to win game 1 here.
More for?
Well, I'm getting closer and closer to my prediction in spring camp, but Evan Fire was crazy. So I'm going to keep riding this train as long as I can. I'm going with the Jays.
I am getting off the caboose and I'm going with the Tigers.
Whoa,
I'm looking at the way the Tigers are playing and I'm like, this is a much better team than the way they're playing right now. I think the Jays are coming off cloud 9 after winning a season series against the Yankees. And I could see them coming in this game a little sleepy. So I think the Tigers will take the first game. And that leads me into
but getting to the Sky Dome at 8 a.m. in Toronto, what's our traffic?
And the game's in Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. Now they're on the wall, they can sweep in, right? Like if you go in to get to Sky Dome at 8 a.m., depending where you're coming from, you're getting up at like 4 a.m.
Okay, calm down, Mr. Waze app. Then let's.
Or you're just walking across the street.
Well, maybe you live across the street. I don't know. I'm just saying, depending where you live, right?
Let's get into our props here. And I'm taking the first prop that the Tigers will get 5 hits in the first 3 innings.
No.
I'm saying yes.
You
guys can all think I'm crazy with a capital C. But now I'm going to ask you, Lane, will there be at least 7 total runs in this game between the two teams?
7 runs? Yeah, I think so.
7 runs. Mr. Morfor,
Yes, sir.
will the Jays use less than 4 pitchers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we use 3.
Speaking of 3, Chazzy, will the Blue Jays make 3 double plays?
No.
Okay, then. That's fast. You're just like, what a stupid prop. Of course not. All right. There you have it, folks. Make sure you download the Streakers app and get in there and make your picks for the Jays. And be on the lookout for some really cool prizes coming up in our sports booth with some very cool digital rewards.
Yes, right. Huge.
Before we move on, I believe Lane wants to discuss one more thing.
Yeah, I got to fight you on this Eric Lauer, man. Like, this guy's been incredible. You look at his last few starts here.
I don't care.
6 innings, only 2 hits, like 7 strikeouts on against the White. That was against San Francisco, 4 innings, 7 strikeouts. Like, this guy, whether he's good or not, this guy likes to throw a lot of strikeouts. He throws 6 or 7. I could see this guy even getting.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this: strikeout pitchers either get a lot of strikeouts or allow a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him live. I was happy with him.
You're always pitching in the strike zone, right? So to be a strikeout pitcher, you're pitching aggressively. You're not throwing balls and trying to get the pitch count long, or you're trying to get through batters fast. Mm-hmm. We saw that with Scherzer in a start earlier a couple weeks ago, where he was trying to make sure to get through 8 innings, and then he ended up allowing a lot of hits because he was throwing a lot of things, high up in the zone that were hittable balls. That's what strikeout pitchers like to do. So we will see on that. But I want to move on to the Canadian Football League and Chad Kelly. We don't know if Chad Kelly's going to play or not on Saturday. I'm saying 80% no, 20% yes. If
I love him.
Educated guess. But
apparently Zach Collaros is playing. Like Zach Collaros is, and I heard Zach Collaros is confirmed to play, right?
He is.
Oh, wow.
But my question is for you boys. Even if Kelly is cleared, would you start him? He has
100%.
very little.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on, calm down. This isn't Madden 26 where you don't need any practice reps and you just can't knock the rust off in 2
It's like Family Feud. You gotta hit the red button fast. Boom, 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 boom.
Look, I get they're 1-5, but quarterback play is not the only reason why they're 1-5. And you have to decide. I always say you need to put players in a position to succeed. And I don't know. Mind you, we're not there seeing the practices. We haven't seen the reps. But it is tough to not play in about 10 months and then just come in. And even when his first start will not be the Chad Kelly.
I mean, Mark Stone does it all the time.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like, even last time, it wasn't an injury he was coming off of. He was healthy the whole time. It was just off-field issues. Now he's coming back from an injury, and a broken leg's not an easy injury to come back to. Damon Allen did it in the early 2000s and still won a couple Grey Cups. But I could see them holding Kelly off one more week.
How long has he been at practice?
Oh, so he's been practicing on and off the whole time, but he took first-team reps for the first time on Sunday and a little bit on Monday. Then Tuesday he got the seat. Then Tuesday he took second-team reps, but practiced early and stayed late. Yesterday, he got his CT scans. We should find out, maybe by the time this is live, we'll hear if he's been cleared or not. But just because he's cleared doesn't mean he'll play. It's a tough injury to come back from. But Lane, you were adamant that you would start him.
Yeah, you told me last week if Chad Kelly was in the game, you would have won, right? Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you guys are 1-5, and you were adamant. If Chad Kelly played, you would have won that game. You told me, if Chad Kelly was playing with half a leg, you guys would have won that game. So if I'm an Argo fan, I want Chad Kelly because I cannot rely on Nick Arbuckle. He can go be a pirate on a pirate ship. I don't care. I can't. If I'm an Argos fan, I can't handle that because I can't go 1-6. I don't even like the Argos. I'm a Ticats fan. I could care less if you guys lost 1,000 games in a row. But for the sake of being in the neutral zone, no, Chad Kelly has to play this game. If Zach Collaros can do it, you got to step up This team
Okay, that's not the same.
you guys need to
thing.
win, though. Your team is falling into despair. Like, you need a momentum
Okay, but I'm
pickup.
just going to be honest here.
Oh.
You really have to decide if this season's savable. And if it's not,
Maybe it's not.
especially then, you don't rush him back. What happens if it's a Davis Alexander situation? He plays one game and then he re-injures the leg and it's a season and could be a career-ending injury. You got to be super careful with this type of injury. I don't think we'll see him play this week. If he's cleared, he'll probably be the backup. He'll maybe get some reps, but I don't think he'll start.
So my question is, do you think this season is salvageable? You look at it right
now. Yes, I do personally think this season is still salvageable because of some other variables. And I'm going to say it straight up. Yes, Hamilton won their last 2 games, but I don't think they looked great. I think they just beat a team that is figuring out ways to lose in the Ottawa Red Blacks.
True.
You have Montreal. Without Davis Alexander, they might be as sleepy as Dan looks right now behind the line.
Eyes are open, bro.
I don't know how well they will play. The BC Lions, they've been struggling for a crossover situation.
Well, we have so much dancing before the show, I would have been more awake.
I honestly
have time to do the laundry.
I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
You see where I'm coming from, though, Mr. Jacob? Do you not?
No, Lane, I totally do see where you're coming from. And
Jackie's over this.
You have to remember when we're talking about the last game.
Jacob,
I was a very angry Toronto Argonaut fan, and then I calmed down afterwards. The Argos could be 3-2 with Nick Arbuckle under center. Nick Arbuckle's played okay. Yes, that last game, the fourth quarter, was a total disaster. Chad Kelly also basically single-handedly lost an Eastern final game 2 years ago. He still became the starter once again. The Argos have a lot more problems than just quarterback play, right? The whole team needs to step up. The running game needs to be better. The defense needs to be better. The offensive line needs to be better. Now, they just did bring in Shane Richards,
who was
a part of that Grey Cup team in 2022, who will make this team better. But the offensive line, especially if Ryan Hunter being injured after he got hit by a car. So I don't know what I would do because it's tough because I haven't seen the practices. I don't know how Kelly looks. Ryan Dinwiddie says he looks good, but he's concerned about the rust. But when Dan looks like he's about to eat the camera, he really wants to say something.
Oh, come on. I can't win here, okay? I sit like this, I'm accused of sweeping. I sit like this, I'm accused of eating the camera. What am I supposed to do? Sit like this?
Name tag.
Yeah, name tag. Anyway, okay. Here's what I think. I think, Jacob, you're putting a lot of words in your mouth here, putting your own words in your mouth, okay? Lane pointed out himself. You said last week the season was savable, and you said you would play Chad Kelly if the season was savable. I get what he's saying about David Alexander's injury and how it's similar to Chad Kelly. However, I think this situation is completely different because if Montreal did not start Alexander for last game and started Bethel Thompson and lost, their season would still be fine. In this case, in the Argos, if you lose this game,
it's over.
It might be over.
Disagree.
So I think for that reason, that's why this doesn't compare with the Alexander situation. And I think that's why you have to play Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly's also 30, which I know is a little bit older for a quarterback, but it's not like he's like Zach Carreros or Trevor Harris almost hitting 40. If you had an older quarterback in this situation, like I would say 37 and older, I would be even more restricted. Yeah, give him more rest. But Chad Kelly, if you play your cards right, you still have another 5 years of franchise dominating quarterback.
You literally just made my point on why I'm hesitant to play him. You probably have 3 to 5 years with this guy still. So do you risk it if you are, I will say this, if you are not 100% sure he's good and he knows all the plays for this year because it's a different offensive line than last year, you can't play him. Because you can't risk this game because if Chad Kelly's injured and he gets a career-ending injury, you're in a lot of
But
trouble
he's
in
not,
Toronto because you
though.
don't
He'll
have
be
a
fine.
quarterback
He's
that
young.
can take over the sport.
You
If
don't know
that's
that,
the thing,
Dan.
you literally just proved my point by saying he is young.
You're putting words in my mouth, Blow.
I'm just using your words against you because I'm a lyricist.
Yeah, but that's not fair. I'm not. I'm slow.
I mean, I get what you're saying. You don't know what could happen. You're right. Could go
But
up
again,
another
you also
12 games.
can't play afraid to get hurt. I feel like no matter what decision is made, Ryan Dinwiddie will be questioned for it.
I feel like if the Argos were around 500, yeah, give Chad Kelly more time. I feel like if the Argos were 0-6, yeah, the season is over with. Who cares? But between the Argos being 1-5, Chad Kelly being young, BC kind of falling apart,
Might be a chance to strike.
yeah, strike when the iron's hot, bro.
Okay, but
Like,
Dan,
you
you also have
have
to
a clue
remember. You
that
also
you're
have to
a
remember
franchise
Nick
team.
Arbuckle. His last 3 starts against Winnipeg are all wins.
That's true. He beat
You have to
Winnipeg in
remember
the
that too.
Grey
The
Cup.
Grey Cup and the 2 games he played against him last year, he won all 3 of them.
That's a very good point. I did
It's
forget
not
that.
Winnipeg is not this powerhouse that they used to be. They're still a good team.
Yeah.
I'm not denying it. But my question is then, do you feel if Nick Arbuckle starts, the Argos have 0 chance of winning Saturday?
No, I
We'll
don't
get
feel
into our
that.
props later on in the show, but I think there's been more props. The bigger things for me is that Winton McManus is good to go.
Yeah.
McCann says his ankle is feeling much better.
Mhm.
So he said they said that's why he was used less of a running game in the fourth quarter because his ankle was starting to give him troubles.
Who?
McCann.
Okay, yeah.
And he was running the ball really well in the first half against Montreal.
He was, yeah.
So if Chad Kelly is 100% healthy and you are 100% confident that he can protect himself and he knows the plays, you play him. If you feel he is 98% ready to go, you give it another week because you're with Chad Kelly, you're not just thinking this year. You're thinking 3-4 years down the road. He's the face of your franchise. It's kind of like if Sidney Crosby had his concussions, he was never rushed back because he was the face of the franchise of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, not just the Pittsburgh Penguins, but arguably of the whole league.
And let's be honest, Chad Kelly still, like him or love him, could be the face of the league. The CFL doesn't really have a real face of the league right now. We have a lot of very good players. I would. There's a lot of very good players, but it's not like there's no like LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes or Connor McDavid in the CFL. There's no one player you think of in this era right now.
I thought it was maybe
Chad Kelly could be that player.
Who?
Right, Lane?
Or I was thinking Tre Ford, but I don't know now.
Not actually. So you know what? Then I think we've discussed this Chad Kelly situation enough. And let's.
What do you think, Jazzy? Would you play him back?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I would just while you're playing a hungry Winnipeg, they're gonna come at you. And do you really want him to start running around this early when he's just coming back? So I don't know. You give him a week, another week,
and maybe the season's a write-off.
You're deciding more on Jacob's side,
or maybe you go partway. If Kelly's healthy, you could always make him your backup. And let's say the first quarter is not going great, you could throw in Chad and see how it goes.
But just to the analyst's point, even if you lose this game, what BC loses, you got a couple of the West teams that lose. You're still two games behind.
You gotta remember, you're still right now only 2 games behind Montreal and Hamilton. It's not. I understand Hamilton's been on a run, but we'll get into it more when we talk about the games individually. But I could see Hamilton. I think I'm starting to see the start of a bit of the fall from Hamilton a little bit. I still think they're a good team, but I don't think they're quite as good as their record right now. Even though I rated them as second best team in the league because this offense, but I've always done it off their offense. And last 2 weeks, Hamilton's offense has not looked great. Montreal, we don't. And Lane, I'm not saying that to be mean because
it's true. I agree.
Rating Hamilton as one of the better players. And we even got called out a little bit on the podcast in YouTube from our good friend over from the Hamilton Ticats Network, who said about the Deshaun Amos hit, then you got to suspend Willie Jefferson. I would like to roll back the clip when I said Willie Jefferson should be suspended as well for his.
Who said that?
From the Hamilton Ticats podcast. Great guy. We saw him at the Ottawa Red Blacks game.
I don't remember that comment, but okay.
It's on YouTube. Get wrecked.
Oh, sorry.
I read all our comments. I read every comment, by the way.
Didn't I say that same thing?
You did. But I want to
Exactly,
move
my
on now to another starter. Now, this is for a very different reason. Tre Ford's last game at Edmonton
Oh, boy.
was terrible.
Oh, yes.
Threw for under 50 yards. I don't even think he even completed 5 passes.
Oh, my God.
It was a really bad game. So the coaching staff has been giving Tre Ford and Cody Fajardo splitting reps with the team, with first team. And they said whoever plays better in practice gets to start. I do think Cody Fajardo will start for Edmonton this week against the Riders. Because Edmonton, I think, is in a worse position than Toronto and Ottawa.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because the West is tougher. Because for them to get a crossover, they got to get by, right now, BC, Toronto, and Ottawa. That's a tougher road. So I think Edmonton's got to find a way to start winning. I think Cody Fajardo gives you a better chance of winning right now.
Oh,
Let's say Cody Fajardo starts. You start him another 3 or 4 games, but the season ends up becoming a write-off. You probably go back to Tre Ford again to see if this guy is your future or not. But right now, your season's not completely a wash yet. So you got to put Cody Fajardo in my opinion.
Well, I don't know if I'm living deja vu here, but I'm pretty sure I said this after our Edmonton Elks pre-game review. Where I said, it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw in Cody Fajardo, even for just one game, right? You talk about Tre Ford and his struggles. Maybe Cody Fajardo, who's an experienced CFL QB, can go in and try to find something here, so he can go back to Tre Ford and be like, "Hey, I've been watching you for so many games. I was in here, and this is what I was able to figure out, and I can help you now because I actually know what our problem is." And when you're Tre Ford, whether you think he's a superstar, whether you think he's not going to be a superstar, he's still young in his career that he may not be able to see the warning signs or may not be able to pick apart the problem that other people can see. So I think it's actually a good idea for Cody Fajardo, who's been able to take a team to a Grey Cup, who has that experience, who's been on different teams, been different structures, played with different guys. Let him go in there. Let him play a game. Let him assess, the line, the running backs, the receivers. Let him get a feel for it, a 100% game. Don't take him out. Let him play the whole game, and then let him go talk to Tre Ford and be the mentor that he's supposed to be and say, "Hey, Ford, this is what you're missing. I'll help you," and then go back and adjust where you need to. Not a bad idea.
It's not, but I look at Edmonton's schedule coming up, right? And you have Saskatchewan, Hamilton, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa. So I think if Edmonton's looking, you feel out of those 5, you probably got to win 4.
Good against Hamilton. Just saying.
Oh, wow.
You probably got to win 4.
Holy moly.
You almost got to win this game.
So you got to win.
100%.
So if your best chance, I truly feel, is of Cody Fajardo. And let's be honest, Cody Fajardo is going to want some revenge against the Rough Riders because
for sure.
I really felt he was blamed for every problem in Saskatchewan. And I'm sorry, but Trevor Harris hasn't done any better. He still lost to Winnipeg.
I have to admit it, too. Not that I don't hate the Rough Riders, but I'm not a huge Rough Rider fan either. But I did not like Cody Fajardo in Saskatchewan. I was one of those people who said, it's all his fault, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes in Montreal, wins the Grey Cup against Winnipeg. And Saskatchewan still kind of the same mediocre spot as they were without him. So I was very wrong about that. So I think he does want to go into some revenge. But I know we're talking both quarterback situations, but the Toronto quarterback situation, I can see the argument for both sides. When it comes to this in Edmonton, there's no argument. There's no thinking about it. The answer is as clear as day. You have to play Cody Fajardo because you've given Tre Ford multiple opportunities. And the thing is, it wasn't like he just played mediocre. He played horrifically bad. Like I said,
only one game though.
It was the worst start I have seen a quarterback starting the CFL. And I've been watching CFL for over 20 years. It was that bad, okay? Anything is to buckle up. I love Nick Arbuckle. He did win the Grey Cup. He did win Most Valuable Player. Anything of Nick Arbuckle is, yeah, he's got a bad record. But he's one of the top quarterbacks in throwing yards. You got to give him credit. And up till the fourth quarter in that Montreal game, he would have won that game. So, you can kind of say of Nick Arbuckle, well, if this happened, maybe we would have won. In Edmonton and Tre Ford, there's none of that. You cannot play a CFL game and throw under 50 yards. I can start a CFL game and throw more than 50 yards, okay? I can do that. So it's like you cannot.
We should see that. Okay, Dan, let's go to the football field.
Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry. You would go 0 for 10. You wouldn't even last 10 plays.
We're going to play a 2v2 stickers game.
Watch the blind side.
Yeah, that's one thing I think people are also forgetting. There are a lot of very talented people in the Canadian Football League. So it's not always just BC's defense did do a really good job that game in general. But I think it's not just this one game, though, in my opinion. Tre Ford has been underwhelming kind of this season. First, week 1, 18 for 27, 178, and an interception. Week 2, 308, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Week 4, 18 for 29, 252, and a touchdown. Week 5, 15 for 17, 212, 2 TDs against Ottawa. You're like, okay, we're starting to see Tre Ford. BC, week 6, 4 for 12, 34 yards, and a pick. I don't think it's just this one game.
No.
I think it's the first 5 games have not gone that great. And I don't think Edmonton feels their season's a write-off quite yet. It's getting close. You're in dire need of a win.
Are you still rolling with Tre Ford as your starting horse over Fajardo? Because looking at the stats of Fajardo, went 4 for 4 against Ottawa. 5 of 7 in BC, and then even with the preseason 6 of 8, 7 of 8. Are you just trying to see if Tre's your guy? And
all the fans are screaming, "We want Tre Ford," and let's be honest, the last couple years for the Elks have been a disaster.
Because look at last year, right?
And but the difference is now, though. This is Tre Ford trying to run an offense from week 1. It's a different situation than coming in at week 10.
Well, maybe Chazzy is thinking the same thing I'm thinking here. And let's just be real here. If you start going for our next couple games, fine. And he played Tre Ford the next few games. If Tre Ford still plays mediocre to bad, is this the last season we'll see him in Edmonton?
Could be. Problem is you just signed him on a 3-year deal.
Okay, I'm sure someone else would be happy to.
Yeah, you can just cut him. You can still just cut him. And yeah, I could see.
Is that what you seen, Chazzy?
Well, yeah, if this Fajardo, if he continues the accuracy on the arm, it looks like. So
Cody Fajardo is the second most accurate quarterback in the Canadian Football League. It's Trevor Harris in Saskatchewan, then it's Cody Fajardo. He's Mr. Completion Percentage. And Cody Fajardo is. This actually, you know what? Here's a perfect analogy. Cody Fajardo is the Toronto Blue Jays. All the intangibles are not the best, but he finds ways to win. And Cody Fajardo has been very good at being able to come up with a play when you need it. He's not, I'll be honest, if you just look at all his abilities, he's probably a tier 3 quarterback. But his winning mentality and just finding ways to make plays makes him better. I said going into this year, I think Cody Fajardo was the better quarterback in week 1, but Edmonton's trying to see what Tre Ford can do. Let's say Cody Fajardo starts your next 3 games. And then out of those next 3 games, let's say you go 1-3, but Fajardo is playing very well. And let's say in the 1-3 stretch, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, and Calgary all continue to pull away. Your season is done. You go back to Tre Ford or maybe even another quarterback in your system because you got to find something for the future. Although Cody Fajardo is also not that old. Like, I'm trying to – I'll have to
look at 30. It's like 32 maybe? I think it's a bit older than Jack.
A bit older than that.
A 92. He's 33.
So he's 33. So Cody Fajardo still easily could have 3 years left in him still.
Yeah, easy.
He doesn't run much, eh?
Yo, he
No.
does.
Oh, he does run.
He's very mobile. He's willing to take hits to make a play. I've always been a Cody Fajardo fan. Even when he was in Saskatchewan, when Montreal got him and everyone said this is a terrible decision, I'm like, no,
I was one of them.
Cody Fajardo will find a way to win with this team. And he won the Grey Cup, won the MOP, was super aggressive down towards the end of the game. And his deep ball accuracy has gotten so much better over the last 2 years that I don't know. I couldn't see this becoming Cody Fajardo's team, depending on how he plays.
Now,
So you keep Tre Ford as a backup, or do you cut him?
No, I think if Tre Ford is no longer the starter, you got to move on from him. Because I think it'll be a toxic locker room.
now I will play devil's advocate. I still think, I could be wrong. I still think there's something to this kid. I still think there's something there that we haven't seen yet. Because I still
But
look
maybe
at
he
last.
just can't do it in Edmonton.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not the team for him. But I still look back at last year. He did save this team. Whether you like him or not, he came in with MBT struggling, who could not win a game, and he found ways to win games. This year has not gone his way. But this is like you said. But you also said, Jacob, this is his first year as a starter. Maybe he needs more time. Maybe he needs a wise. And this is why I said maybe I would be okay with the one game, because maybe all it takes is one game for Cody Fajardo just to be like, bro, this is what you're doing wrong. I can fix you in 3 minutes. And then,
No, but if Cody Fajardo gets a win, you can't go back to Tre Ford again. You can't.
Oh, especially against the Rough Riders?
No, if Cody Fajardo starts and wins, Tre Ford will not be starting the next game. It'll have to be Cody Fajardo until he loses.
But why is it not working for Tre
quarterback.
Ford this year?
I don't
Well,
know.
what's changed?
Well, number one, there's no Eugene Lewis anymore. And Tre Ford has always had one really good receiver where he had Dylan Mitchell or Eugene Lewis. This year he's got neither.
He's
The receiving
Kenny
core
Waller.
this year is not great. But the way Cody Fajardo plays, this is going to sound weird, he suits okay receiving cores because it's all high percentage, high completion rate passes. But I do want to move on here. We will keep you posted. Of course, we'll have pre and post games. We'll break this stuff down even more on game days. But Bob Dyce for the Ottawa Red Blacks,
Wolverice.
according to the GM, is not on the hot seat. Sean Burke, the GM of the Red Blacks, endorses head coach Bob Dyce despite the poor start, saying he'll continue to be our leader.
Well, we've heard that before.
We have.
We've seen guys hearing Maple Leafs a prime example as a 1 minute of safety, next day we're fired. So I don't think that really means much of anything.
How many studs do they have down right now?
A lot, but is that an excuse?
Well,
No.
with this team, no?
No, I disagree.
Well-
I've said for 3 weeks. I think this team finds ways to lose, and I think it comes down to coaching. I
You look
thought
at both those games against Hamilton. I personally thought they found ways to lose.
it's coaching to me. It's
But
middle.
closing out the game?
It's just little things. It's like the game, like 3 games ago, it was like not getting your guys to be able to get on count with the quarterback, and then the 2 games ago, it was like the kicking routine. They can't catch a. They didn't know how to turn their body to catch a ball, and then last week it was like they're just doing little things here and there that are like coachable moments. That if you have a good coach,
Yeah.
it's just these little things that are adding up here. That if they're not doing that, they got a coach that's a little bit more focused, or I don't even know if not focused, but just better coaching. I just think they got 3 more wins and 3 less losses.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. That's what I've seen. I've been watching all the games from the Ottawa Red Blacks, and it just seems like they're getting out coached every game. There's little mistakes that the other teams are making than they are.
Not just the mistakes, but also they're not playing for the win, for playing not to lose. And that's
I
a
agree.
big mistake. Like you
That's
look
been a
at
Bob
these
Dyce thing his whole tenure.
situations where they're like 3rd down and 1, and they're not going for it, they're punting it. I'm like, to me, that's a big problem. I get you can't go for it every single time, but you have to have enough faith in your team to get the job done.
Like
And
Crum
sometimes
can't
you
get
do
1-yard
have
rush.
to go for it. And they're just not coaching aggressive enough, in my opinion. Now, I correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob. I don't know if that's a Bob Dyce decision or offense coordinator decision.
At the end of the day, it'll be Bob on like those third and shorts. Bob Dyce will make the decision, and then either the special teams coordinator or the OC will make the play call depending on what the play call is.
Okay, so
I look at Ottawa though, and they've lost some. They're like Toronto in the sense where they've lost winnable games. I felt the game in Hamilton, especially on the 12th, they should have won that game. They probably should have won the game against the Elks. You take away the missed field goal and the fumble, you probably beat the Argos. And all of a sudden, you could be 3-2.
Yeah.
I have an insight question.
Yeah.
These third downs in the league over the last few years, have teams been going more on third down?
Let's
So
look
you know,
that
like
up.
the NFL with analytics, we're
Let's look
seeing
it up.
more fourth downs. Is that sort of the same on third down in the CFL?
So it really depends on where you are on the field. For some reason in the CFL, I could be wrong, but I feel like more teams are more apt to punt, which I don't agree with. I think if you're midfield, anything less than third and 3 or less, you go for it, in my opinion.
I agree.
And are they going for it? Or are they
I
not?
would be. They're not, but I would be, especially now. People say, well, you can't let this go to your head when you think about it. I do. If a team's got a tier 1 kick returner, why not just go for it?
Right, exactly.
If you don't get it at midfield, it's not like they're starting in guaranteed points. They still got to get probably 3 first downs before a field goal. So, but that is a good question, Chazzy. I don't have the statistic in front of me. But from what I've been watching, I feel it is more a team-by-team base. But more teams are punting, I believe, than going for it on third down.
So they're not risking it at midfield or anything. They're going deeper.
Some teams are. Ottawa's not one of them, though. Ottawa, they don't play aggressive. Go ahead, Lane.
I do have a stat. It's 2 years old, but it might help with this some little bit success rate. It said in 2023 there was an 80% success rate on short third downs.
So short's considered 3rd and 1 or less.
80% success
in the CFL
in 2023. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing from on an article here from Third Down.
And what you're saying is that what the action of these teams don't really match that up unless they're
on 3rd and short. We were talking 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 wouldn't be considered 3rd and short.
Okay.
So yeah, on 3rd and short, teams are going for it. Absolutely, almost 9 times out of 10. Anything past your own about 40-yard line. 3rd and I'll say a long short, which would be like 2 to 3 yards. It really depends on the game situation. I'm seeing more teams punt, which again, if I'm midfield, anything 3rd, 3 or less, I'm going. I'm going.
I would too, yeah.
Because you're in that weird position where a punt might actually backfire on you. Yeah. If you shank it a little bit or you miss a block and it gets a really good kick return. So it's not like the NFL where they just fair catch it all the time, where you can just pin them every time you kick it, right? You got to give them some yards and some room to move. And there's some elite kick returners in the CFL. But
where are you kicking the field goal? So if you give it up at midfield, where do they got to kick a field goal? You got to get to the 45, 40?
Like Castillo, it depends. Castillo and Winnipeg can hit 60-yard field goals, which is harder with a CFL ball because it's heavier. So you'll see, like I've seen Winnipeg kick a field goal at the 55-yard line.
What? Okay.
What? Yes, they did. I've seen it. Where like you look at like a team like BC with Sean White, he's very accurate, but he doesn't have as much of the length. So you're not going to kick a field goal much past the 45-yard line. Now remember too, Chazzy, the field goal posts are at the front of the end zone, not the back.
Yeah.
So you got to factor in a 10-yard difference.
Yeah.
So like a kick at the 45-yard line in the CFL is like a 35-yard kick line in the NFL.
And then the end zone is bigger in the CFL too.
But that doesn't really affect the field goal.
I wonder what's the difference between the rugby ball and the CFL ball I wonder.
Rugby ball slightly bigger.
Get some Aussie rugby player to kick.
Funny enough, it's why the Aussie players usually don't have as much troubles adjusting.
Right, yeah. Like
But-
our punter, Haggerty.
But you look at the Red Black schedule coming up. You got Calgary. They have a bye this week. Then they go Calgary, Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, BC. That's a tough road. You'll probably lose to Calgary, but if you can beat Toronto, Winnipeg, and Edmonton and then split BC, you're right back in the race. So I think Bob Dyce will at least have his job until mid-August. That's my take on it. However, I won't be surprised if Ottawa is a new coach by next season.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to move on to the actual games this week.
Yeah.
And of course, like the MLB, the Canadian Football League is also in the Streakers app. So if you're not in the Streakers app, well, man, your life must be boring.
Yeah.
Because this app, having fun isn't hard when you have a Streakers digital reward card, because there are going to be lots of digital rewards coming up in the app very, very soon.
That's
Plus,
right.
the 7 days of something is coming up. So make sure you stay locked in for all of that. But let's get right into the first game of the week, which is the Alouettes versus the Calgary Stampeders. And Mr. Chazzy, who are you taking in this one?
Calgary.
Dan,
Yes.
who are you taking?
Calgary.
Lane.
Oh, Calgary, 100%.
I like that Lane doesn't need me to ask him the same question. He just knows what it is. I am going to take Calgary.
Why didn't you ask yourself the question, Jacob?
I just did, and Calgary is who I am taking. Now let's get into the props.
Wow.
Will Calgary create one turnover in the first half? Dan.
As a no-brainer, I say yes, especially with Webb.
Okay. Mr. Lane, you're not the biggest fan of him, but will McLeod Buffalo-Thompson throw at least 255 yards?
Against Calgary? No.
Probably a crazy half.
That's not a half, that's a game, I said.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chazzy. Will Vernon Adams Jr. throw at least 275 yards and 2 touchdowns?
Yes.
I mean, he might do that in the first half. He's been hitting over 200 yards in the first half the last
Fast tracking Calgary.
Last but not least, I've set the over-under for the Alouettes net offense for 350 yards, and I'm going to say no. I don't think they'll get there. I think they'll be hovering around the 325, 330 range. I think they're going to get some offense, but not quite hit that 350.
You're not giving yourself that much room.
I'm not. That's how I roll on the island. Now, let's play my favorite game.
Precision.
Yes or less. 54 combined points. Dan?
Yes.
Lane?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I missed.
54 points, yes or less.
Ooh, 54. No, I think it's gonna be less.
I'm saying less. Chazzy,
Yes.
you're saying yes. We have a tie. Mind you, Chazzy, the first time we played yes or less, did terrible.
Oh,
The last few times, he's been doing better.
That was horrendous.
Now let's move on to the game that we've been talking about quite a bit with the Elks starting QB situation. The Elks versus the Rams. I am going to go and take the underdog here. Cody Fajardo will get the start, and he will get the win, baby. No dubs. I'm taking the Edmonton Elks to take down the Rough Riders. I don't think the Rough Riders are as dominant as their record. Mr. Chazzy, you look shocked I picked the Elks.
Does Harris get exposed here? So I might tail you. So I'll take the dog.
2 for the underdogs. Who are you taking, Dan?
Well, I think Edmonton might do something crazy and start Tre Ford again. So for that reason, I'm going to take Saskatchewan.
Lane.
I'm going to take Saskatchewan as well. I think Cody Fajardo will play. I think he's going to learn a bit, but I also think he hasn't started the game here, and he might take him some time, and maybe he's going to see some. I think he's going to see some issues here and report back to Tre Ford that just because he started doesn't mean he will win. So I'm going to go Saskatchewan here.
Let's get into the props. Lane, Trevor Harris, 335 yards passing.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
defense has not been the best this year, so yeah, I'll take it.
Dan,
Yeah.
AJ Olette, the man with luscious hair, will he get at least one touchdown?
Oh, yeah.
Chazzy, you mentioned Cody Fajardo if he starts. Super accurate. Will Edmonton be able to have a turnover-free game?
Yes.
Really?
I am taking the Elks for over 150 yards rushing. I think they're going to run the ball more aggressively with Cody Fajardo in because I think the RPOs, he'll be able to read that defense a bit better and know when to pull and know when to let the guy run. Now, let's go back to my favorite game show. Yes or less. 49 is the magic number.
Oh.
Dan,
Yes.
Lane,
More. Because we know Edmonton's going to give up at least probably 30, like they usually do. So I'm going to say more.
Chazzy.
Less.
I'm going to say less. I think of Cody again. I really think Cody Fajardo is going to start, and he is a time possession quarterback, which means Edmonton's defense won't be out for 3/4 of the bloody game. So that's going to make a big difference. Now let's move on to the Toronto Argonauts versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Don't know who's starting quarterback as of right now. We may by the time this is live on the air, but I am taking the Toronto Argonauts in this game. I got to stick with my double blue. Yes, of course, Lane. You always take the Tiger Cats.
True.
So get wrecked, Ralph. I'm gonna start calling you Wreck-It Ralph Dashko. Lane, who are you taking?
Oh, boy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the Argos because I actually just think this team needs a win. Like, you can't lose this. You know, as much as Chad, he said the Blue Bombers will be angry or hungry to win this. I can't think you guys can't be hungry. I feel like if you lose. Oh, yeah.
Breaking news for the first time ever on the Streakers Island podcast. Lane Dashko has predicted the Toronto Argonauts will win a football game. Congratulations, Lane. You win nothing, but you win the enjoyment of this royalty-free rock and roll. Who are you taking, Chassis?
Royalty-free rock and roll. Argo.
More for.
Well, I was really debating on this. However, Jacob made a very good point earlier in the episode.
Wow.
But Chad Kelly comes in, you got a better chance winning. But even if he doesn't come in, Nick Arbuckle was 3-0 against the Blue Bombers. And he did beat them in the Grey Cup. So for that reason, I'm picking the Argos as well. Because no matter what quarterback you got in, they got a good chance of winning.
And you'll be in the stands.
We're all, funny enough, so we were 50-50 on a 1-5 Edmonton team. We're 4 for 4 on a 1-5 Argo team. We love the underdogs today. Will the Argos get at least 75 combined rushing yards, Lane?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Honestly, I think this is the game they're going to have to get the running attack going a bit. So I could also see it. Mr. More for. Will Winnipeg get at least 270 passing yards? Zach Collaros is starting.
Don't
go to the bathroom. Just answer the question.
That's a tough question because
you said no in the notes, bud.
Yeah, I was thinking about switching because I like Collaros, but 270 is a high number. I'm going to say no.
Chazzy. Will Winnipeg get at least 3 sacks?
No.
And I will go last and say the Argos will create 2 turnovers. I think for them to beat Winnipeg, which I think they will, the defense is going to have to create some turnovers. Now, time for yes or less. It's yes or less. We pick the number that fits it best. It's yes or less. 55 is our magic number.
Holy.
Chassis, yes or less.
I'm gonna say less.
I'm also going to say less. Lane.
I'm going less.
More 4.
Yes.
Dan
I
wants a
think the Argos will
high-scoring
win
Argo
too.
victory.
Can't wait to see his prediction in the Pick'ems chat. When he
Yes,
picks
right.
one touchdown, but then I'll be like, didn't he serve 55 points?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to the last game of the week. The Hamilton
Love
Tiger
you, Dan. You know that.
versus the
Love you too,
BC
bud.
Lions. Hamilton
More love
versus
on the island.
BC. Who are you taking? I know who Lane's taking.
You don't have
So
to. You
you
may as
go
well just
first.
skip me. I don't know. Like honestly, I'm a little conflicted here, but I do think the Ticats will win. But I do think with Nathan Rourke, you never know what that guy. I feel like he's a guy who can make explosive plays. But I will take the Ticats because I do think the defense can contain him. But I am a little bit worried with what I've seen from the offense the last 2 weeks for sure.
I will say too, with Nathan Rourke, you never know what Rourke you're getting to from quarter to quarter. Some quarters he looks great. Some quarters he looks terrible, which is why I'm going to try sushi and take the Tiger Cats.
Ooh.
So I'm going to eat them raw. I don't know why you want to eat raw fish. To me, it sounds disgusting.
Wow, what a video we're having. I'm picking the Argos and Jacob's picking the Ticats.
I honestly think the
This is a dream
Ticats.
right now. Someone, Chazzy, pinch yourself. Make sure you're awake for
I
this.
just about did it.
I think the Ticats are a better team than BC. Mr. Morfor, who are you taking?
Well, we know Dan's picking.
I'm picking the Tiger Cats as well.
What is going on today?
Wow.
Wait, we just realized Dan likes Hamilton more than Nathan Rourke. That's what we learned today.
I am awake. This is really happening.
No, do it.
The Moore brothers picking Hamilton? What am I in a video game simulation? Am I in the Matrix or something?
I almost said friend. As a fan, I guess a friend of the Argos too. I would love to pick
What's happening?
BC. However, I heard Jacob keep saying Hamilton's cocky. I agreed with him a few weeks ago, but the more I watch it, I'm like, no, this team is pretty good for finding ways to win. I think both Levi Mitchell and Kenny Lawler have just got this team to a new level for special connection. And I don't think York is the real deal. I think there's still some drama in that BC dressing room. And I know their coach, Buck Pierce, not completely sold on him being a head coach yet. And yeah, I think Hamilton's going to take this one.
Chazzy, who are you taking? Either way, you're picking a giant cat.
BC Lions.
BC. So then, Chazzy, will Nathan Rourke throw at least 301 yards? I want to add the 1.
Yes.
I felt like it. I was so tempted to make it 269, but I decided to go with 301. Mr. Lane.
That's me.
Kenny Lawler, 2 TDs.
2 Ds for Lawler. No.
I will raise your no to a yes on that one. Mr. Morfor, Lions, 0 interceptions. Will Nathan Rourke not turn over the ball?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, no, he's going to turn over the ball for sure.
And my prop I gave myself, will 4 Tiger Cat wide receivers have at least 3 catches? I'm going to change this to wide receivers and running backs. Will at least 4 offensive players get at least 3 catches?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say yes. I think teams are going to do what Ottawa did over the last 2 games and double team Kenny Lawler. Because as much as Hamilton did win, Kenny Lawler's numbers were not nearly as good, and it did give teams a fighting chance against that offense. So that's why. Now it's time for yes or less. 62.
Oh.
Neither of these teams play defense half the time, so I set it pretty high. I'm saying yes for this. I think we're going to have a very high-scoring game.
So do I. We haven't had one for Hamilton the last 2 weeks. I think it's time to – I think it's going to be one of those Argos games where the ball's going to be flying in the end zone. So, yeah.
I don't know if BC's defense is going to be able to contain Kenny Lawler, to be honest.
I don't think so.
Mr. Morfor. I don't know why this is so funny.
I say less.
That was not that funny. Chazzy, what do you think?
I'm going to say more. But yeah, you're right. With Tim White had 8 receptions that last game. So if you double team and Hamilton's weapons show up, then yeah, this could be a high scoring game. So
I don't know what Dan finds so funny right now for you watching on YouTube.
I'm just thinking back to today's comment. I say, yeah, it's going to be 55 points. I say we only got 1 touchdown.
That's a lot of rouges.
A bunch of rouges and field goals.
Yeah, because Dan will say that, and then he'll go in the Pick'em's chat, and they'll be like, and he'll say 1 touchdown. I'll be like, and then I'll kind of comment like, yeah, how are we gonna get to 55
I
points?
didn't realize I did that, but I do. That's why I'm just laughing here. I'm like, yeah, I'll probably do it again. Why not?
I think we gotta remind Dan how much 7 points. So if this is gonna be 50 points, it's gonna be more than 1 touchdown.
So before
40 rouges, which you never know.
Before we move on to the NHL,
Going.
I do want to talk a little bit about the UFL, and we're seeing some teams move around. So there will be no teams now in Birmingham, Michigan, Memphis, or Houston starting in 2026. But there will be teams in Orlando, Boise, Indiana, Columbus, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, maybe.
How are we feel? I actually like the XFL trying, because attendance has been terrible in those cities. Like in Birmingham, they've been averaging under 8,000 fans again. It makes BMO Field look like a sellout. So, like, I like that they're trying, because I think you have to try something, or else this league's just going to fold. You can't survive on just St. Louis.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll just call it out, and no disrespect to anybody.
Uh-oh.
I don't see this league surviving. I mean, you gotta either play at different times of the NFL, or you gotta put on a different product. I think the reason why the CFL does so well. What's going on? Okay. I think the reason why I thought I was hearing things, I was going crazy. I thought the reason why the CFL does well is, 1, it's in a different country completely. 2, it's a completely different game. And 3, is giving different players an opportunity to play professional football. The XFL, it's the XFL or UFL. See, I don't even know what league we're talking about for so similar. Like, whatever league it is, it's all in American cities. It's all people that couldn't make the NFL playing. And they play, the schedules overlap each other. And the rules are not different enough. It's the tiny balls.
I agree with you there. I think the rules are the problem. I'm actually going to keep this chill music in the background for this convo, because I think the biggest issue in the UFL is it's basically the NFL with crappier players. And I don't mean that to be mean, but you look at PJ Walker, who led the XFL in touchdown passes. He's a backup in the Canadian Football League.
And he can barely make it.
So I think the XFL, what they need to do, I've had enough of this song. Sorry, Dan. But what they need to do is make the league different. The reason why the CFL can do as well as it does is because it's a very different game than the American game. I think the XFL needs to try more things besides of ruining kickoffs for every football fan in America, and go that route. But I just kind of wanted to bring that into the chat here quickly.
And what we've talked about in the episodes previous, what the CFL has to do to gain more revenue. I hate to say it, but if you're desperate enough, maybe like what Jacob said, maybe you're looking at putting a team in St. Louis, because you're like, you know what, the NFL's not doing it for whatever reason. The XFL had tons of success there. You know, the CFL is doing good as a league because it's different than the NFL. It plays a different time of year than the NFL. It gets different players in the NFL. So maybe if you put a couple CFL teams in America, it would do well and bring in more revenue to the league.
Okay, I'll say this: if the UFL and the XFL fold and St. Louis no longer has a team, the CFL has to reach out about going there. Because you're averaging between 35 and 40,000 fans a night there. So I think they just want football. I don't think they care what kind of football it is. I think
they like soccer,
professional level football. And they'll get it with the CFL. But I just wanted to bring that up because, you know, as much as the XFL's off season, I mean, it's a league that The XFL and the UFL have been a league of weirdness. They wanted to be, there were rumors they were going to join the CFL. I don't know if you boys remember that, but then they want the CFL to play all their rules, and CFL's like, well, no, goodbye, bigger than you are. And I do think the league should work together more often. Like, I'd love to see them team up to find someone to make XFL/CFL football video game. I think that's a way to kind of mainstream these sports more. And I'll say this too. We will get more into esports later on in the show, not today, but another day. But people are desperately looking for a new simulation football game. Madden's been terrible. I heard college football 26 is not as good as 25. I haven't played it yet because personally I'm not spending $70, $80 for a roster update. So I think fans are really starving. And if I look at if I'm 2K Sports and if the NFL will only do an exclusive deal with EA, that I'm going to the CFL and I'm going to the XFL and the UFL and saying, let's work something out here that'll benefit both of us. Just like I wonder too, will 2K Sports make a college hockey game to compete with EA's NHL? I would think after that college hockey game, that'd be a blast.
I think after that humongous signing that Wrap-Up called out for college hockey, I think that's a more realistic thing to happen now.
Oh, and it's not just that one player either. Like
I get that, but I think that one player.
Oh, that's the first one that kind of knocked down the door.
What was his name?
McKenna.
Thank you, McKinnon. I know McKinnon's not the first player by any stretch, but McKinnon's the first franchise player to make this decision.
That could change. And I'm not, we're not going to get into the political side, but the U.S. government is talking about limiting NLL deals. If that happens, the CHL may try to be like, look, you're not going to make the money you thought you were there. Here you're getting a bigger stage closer to scouts and broadcasted.
Right.
Come on back. So I think the next 2 years will be very interesting in that one. But let's stick to the ice surface, and I want to talk about some Leafs rumors. This is Chazzy's favorite topic. Because I've seen people say because Morgan Riley's off Twitter, or X, or whatever you call it, that he's being traded. I think Morgan Riley just wants a break from all this shenanigans from the media and has just deleted social media for a little bit so he can enjoy his lovely family.
Sorry, so you're saying because he deleted a social media platform, now he's rumored to be traded?
Jacob, yes. I need to be full screen for a minute. I need the floor here. Okay, fans, listen up. Leaf fans, if you're listening, who's ever up there, Uncle Lee needs to spit some truth here. So there's this thing in the NHL. It's called a no trade clause, and Morgan Riley has a full no trade clause, which means unless he goes to the team and requests a trade, he cannot be traded. Even if they ask him if he wants to leave, all he has to do is say one word, 2 letters, N-O, and the conversation is over. He said he loves Toronto. He said he doesn't want to leave. What does that tell you? He ain't going anywhere. It's over. I don't know, I'm still full screen. But...
Lovely rant. I thought I'd be the rock music.
100% agree with Lane.
And if you don't believe me, play NHL 20. Even though it's a bad game, play NHL 25 and try to trade Morgan Riley. Even in the game, he says, no. Okay, well, it's over.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Leafs defense for the first time in years, you leave it alone.
Oh, 100%.
I actually like it. The only player who I would have brought in if he was available was Aaron Ekblad, because I think he actually makes this defensive core better. There's no one else available that I feel is any better than what you already have.
I would have loved to see Theodore for Marner if that was
they tried that and
Vegas yesterday. It's gone.
But imagine Theodore and Riley playing together.
Who cares? It's done. Marner's gone.
You gotta look at the Maple Leaf defense core versus Edmonton's defense core. We spent less money and we're way better. I've said before, I say again, I think Morgan Riley's contract is one of the best in the NHL. A top franchise defenseman with $7.5 million. You just handed stupid Broussard from Edmonton like $10.5 million for playing terrible. So it's like 7.5 Morgan Riley is a phenomenal deal. And why would you trade him? And why would he want to be traded? He loves the blue and white.
That's the thing, dude.
He
They
was
literally
drafted
can't.
very high here. You know, I don't see him.
Here's a trade rumor that I heard earlier today with the Devils. You guys would receive Dougie Hamilton in exchange for Larson, Yarncrov, and Weber. Would you pull that trade?
Yes.
Weber. Who's Weber?
Or Weber?
He plays in Maurice.
Cade.
So what are we getting, Doug? There's no way that's happening.
That's what I said.
I mean, I don't know why they would do it. If they would do it, I'd totally take it.
No, I would not.
What for the benefit of like you're getting
I think this Caleb Weber is going to be the next like Zadorov kind of defenseman. This kid is huge.
He is good.
We need something in the farm system. We're running
we
out
saw
of
a couple Murray games and he played well.
Now, my big question for you guys is I've read that Anthony Stolarz is not a priority to get re-signed right now.
No.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Why?
No.
Because you know what? Next season, there's going to be this guy. He might leave.
He looks so put off with you. He's like,
well, whether you like it or not, until he signed, I'm going to play the same game everybody else played. There's this guy, his name's Connor McDavid, and until he signs a contract with the Edmonton Oilers, we can have fun because everyone did it with us and Mitch Marner, so we get to have fun now. It's my time to say that Connor McDavid's going to come to Toronto, but
here's a dollar. Call someone who cares. Connor McDavid's not coming to Toronto.
No, but my point. Okay, here's my actual answer. My thing is, there's going to be so many free agents next year. Like we looked at this year, right? This year was, let's be honest, it was bad. The free agent list was not the greatest. Going into next year, there's a lot more promise, and there's a lot more cap. The Leafs are going to be one of the teams because Mitch Marner's not on this team, and because Tavares took way less, are going to have like way in the double digits of the $1 million to spend, and they're going to have a way bigger list to choose from. So why would you go out there right now and get? Oh, not this again. Why would you go give Stolarz $5 or $6 million when you got him for another year at least? At least you got Joseph Wall. You've got that Hill to beat. You've got whether Dan likes him or not. You've also got that guy, the Artemayov guy. I know I'm saying his name wrong. You got goalies in the system. You got at least 4 goalies that could be NHL ready. You're going to have a big list next year. I don't think there's a rush to get Stolarz done. I don't.
I think there's a huge rush.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is
why he's never played more than he's never been proven to be a starter.
Because what's going to happen is he's going to play really well, and all of a sudden it's going to be Nylander all over again. When Nylander Chazzy's so upset he knocked his pitcher side.
You guys forget though,
crooked
goalies don't get a lot. Bobrovsky was an anomaly. Like he's never.
And he's won 2 cups.
We just signed.
Market's going to change.
We just signed Swayman, who sucks, but
no, he doesn't.
$8 million a year.
Stolarz is not Swayman. Get rid.
Stolarz is better than Swayman.
No, he's not.
And plays
yes, he is.
half as good as Swayman. He'll get.
Swayman's never been. Hey, hold on a minute. You talk about it. Swayman has never had a successful season where he's the guy.
Exactly my point. That's why I'm saying Stolarz is a good comparison. So if you wait, you're going to hand Stolarz $8 million. I will sign Stolarz today for $5 million. No questions asked.
He's going to want 8.
And I would trade Joseph Wall. Please.
I would trade Joseph Wall.
Oh, I would.
Well,
You're giving him $3.5 million to do nothing.
I'll believe when I see he's not getting $8 million.
Well, but when you say that, what I'm looking right now is the potential goalie market.
I thought this was going to be a bowling conversation. I really did. I heard Lane's answer.
And okay, boys.
Jacob put it in the script.
The pending goalie market's not that great. Meaning,
exactly,
goalies that hit the market are going to get paid. Look at this year. mediocre players were getting $6 million because the market wasn't great. Well, number one, Craig, hold on to your hat. Carey Price is the free agent coming up.
Oh.
By the way, watch out for new streakers hats. Craig is wearing one of these sampler hats. So if you like the look of this hat and how snazzy it is, it doesn't come with Craig. Maybe we'll send autographed pictures of Craig with the hat. But I mean, but you look at this, you besides Bobrovsky and Markstrom, there's not a starting goalie coming up. After that, it's Spencer Knight, Peter Mrazek, Philip Gustafson, Boursois, Fedorov, Frederick Anderson. Oh, here we go. Stuart Skinner, Cam Talbot, Alex Nedorkovich, Connor Ingram, Sebastian Kose, Jonathan Quick, who will retire, Vincent Vanacek, Scott Wedgwood. Okay, there's your next starting goalie.
And Stoloff is better than all those goalies.
In that market, if he has a good year, we'll get 8 to 10.
Easy.
In this market with the cap going up and a team that's desperate to win. So sign him now for 5. Offer him a deal for 5 over 5.
Even if he wanted 6, I think I would give it to him, as crazy as it is.
5 over 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
See if he takes it. Why not? Why not offer it to him? He might say yes.
What's he getting now? What's he getting now?
2.5.
So it's doubling his salary.
Yeah.
He won't take that.
I mean, if he wasn't injured, he could have won the Vezina.
You're not his manager.
That's just my problem, though. He's never been a bona fide starter.
Okay,
with Swayman.
Okay, but
yes, he has.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Really, you're telling me with Allmark in the system, Jeremy Swayman was your starting goalie 1,000%.
He can be, though.
I take Jeremy Swayman any day.
No, he can't. Let's look at Jeremy Swayman's numbers.
He's definitely played more than 60 games.
Nope.
He'll have a bounce back year this year.
And if you're Anthony Storoff's agent, you're going to look at Jeremy Swayman's contract. That's the one you're going to compare it to.
Okay, so Swayman,
$55 million a year.
Played in 58 games this year with a 3.11 goals against average and an 892 save.
It was a bad
year before this year. What was his numbers before this year?
In 44 games, 43 started, 8 shutouts, and 916.
Okay, and then the year before that?
37 games, 4 shutouts, a 920. 41 games, 3 shutouts, a 914. This is my point. Jeremy Swayman can play half the games around. When he had to play more than that, he was terrible.
Well, I think it was just more.
No, it's not. I don't care about the contract. You're a professional athlete.
Figure it out.
Well, and a transition year for that club, so.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be the difference in that club. Look
if
at
it wasn't for him playing so bad,
in Ottawa.
Boston would have made the playoffs.
Look at Allmark in Ottawa. He found a way to find his game and get that team to the playoffs.
I know, missing Bergeron retiring, that hurt them.
No.
I don't care. Players retire. Get over it.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if Swayman played better, Boston would have made the playoffs, and Brad Marchand would not be a Panther.
Yeah, it's honestly that's very possible.
That's what I think. I think he was the difference. I really do.
And here's a good question. Going next year, you guys said, would you not rather have Bobrovsky over Stolarz? What if Bobrovsky leaves?
What?
Why not?
Because he's so old.
Who cares?
And Bobrovsky's not leaving Florida. Bobrovsky is either going to stay in Florida or he's going to retire.
Or go at KHL.
Yeah, he'll.
What about Jacob Markstrom? Jacob Markstrom's a really good goalie. Fantastic, actually. Look at his numbers.
Let's look it up.
They're pretty good.
So
they're pretty good.
Deep of goalies, is there a goalie?
And Jersey has crappy defense. Jacob Markstrom
but Lane. So that means if Jacob Markstrom is the best goalie on the market, that'll be available because Bobrovsky's either going to retire or stay in Florida. That means Markstrom's probably going to get 10.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
Jacob Markstrom did have a very good year last year.
He did.
And 49 games, had 4 shutouts, 2.5 goals against average, and a 90 save percentage.
I would rather get
playoffs. He's the only reason why you even won a game.
I'd rather pay him 9 than Stolarz 9, to be honest.
Okay, but if he gets 9, Stolarz gets 7.
Yeah.
which is why if Toronto can get him for 5 to 6 now, they should do it.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know why this hasn't been done yet.
Because they've been focused on the offseason. But I think now you're not making any more trades, really. You got to remember, too, Jacob Markstrom's 35. He's not getting any younger.
Stars is huge. He looks great in a suit, and he's young. Why aren't we keeping him?
Maybe they're banking on one of your young goalies coming up.
They're all terrible. Like I said,
No, they're not.
I've been
Hildebrand's
to
really
Murray
good.
games. They all suck.
No,
Matt
Hildebrand's
Murray
supposed
was
to.
the best Murray.
No, Hildebrand's supposed to be very good
He was terrible.
because he's young.
I'm kind of iffy on Hill to be. I haven't seen enough yet.
Terrible.
That even that other goalie, that Artemak. I don't know how to say his last name, but Artemayov, he's supposed to be really good too.
Okay, so Anthony Stolarz this year in 34 games was
34,
20-8.
yeah, not even 40.
I'm glad we don't have this much drama with our goalies in Montreal.
Anthony Stolarz, so in 34 games, so it's the most games he played in his career. 3 shutouts,
Saying, man.
a 2.4 goals against average, and a 926 save percentage.
Yeah, Vezina number.
Get this guy locked up now at a deal where if it's got to be him and another tandem, it's affordable.
Right.
Which I think you can get that done if you do it in the offseason.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
If you wait and Anthony Stolarz has another year where, truthfully, those numbers, if he could have kept that out without getting injured, those are Vezina caliber numbers.
Yes.
And hear me out, because let's say he started in 60 games with about 6 shutouts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're talking Vezina. If you look, Stolarz was top 5 in every main goalie stat category.
Yeah.
So I think you got to get. I think he's the closest thing to a franchise goalie you've had since Curtis Joseph. I'm not saying he's as good as Curtis Joseph, but you haven't had a goalie that I actually feel can get it done. And I feel Anthony Stolarz can. His injury in the playoffs was off a dirty play from Sam Bennett.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Well, except Chazzy. Chazzy thinks it's fine until Caulfield gets cross-checked in the face. Then he thinks it's terrible. We all
Yeah,
know
but agree.
Stolarz playoffs numbers again in the last year, just as a reminder.
Anthony Stolarz in the playoffs
They were pretty good.
was
Still got bounced in the second round.
because he got injured.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a 901 save percentage and a 219 goals against average, winning 4, losing 3.
Yeah, you gotta get this guy signed up. And Joseph,
And what I said with Anthony Stolarz is only 31.
right.
So he's still young enough. You could have a really good goalie for another 5-6 years.
Exactly. And if you think Dennis Hilderby is so fantastic, Lane, versus a perfect trade a perfect time to trade Joseph Wall,
No,
$3 million in cap
Hilderby needs at least another year in the AHL.
I think Hilderby's garbage. You guys think he's so wonderful.
I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he's phenomenal. I think he's a decent goalie who needs a little
He's
more.
straight up garbage, and this movie sucks.
Okay, calm down, Red Bandana. But another question I want to ask you guys before we wrap up tonight is Ryan Reeves.
oh God, this guy.
Was he moved because of his lack of hockey ability? Or was he moved because Lane's sick of him? Or was he moved because of the culture? Let's be honest. I think he was traded pretty much right after he did that podcast interview where he said he felt no one in Toronto wanted him and talked about why he told Marner to go to Vegas.
Oh boy, okay.
So I think he was moved because I think they wanted to get that bad energy out of the dressing room.
I think it's a little column A, a little column B, and a little column C.
No.
You pay Ryan Reeves $1.3 million to beat people up. And for whatever reason, he didn't do that last year.
True.
Okay? He played 35 games and he got 2 assists. I love the guy, but he cannot keep up on this team, and he was not fighting. You have him to fight. You have him to protect Captain Underpants, and you have him to drop the gloves. This year, the Leafs fought by committee. So because they fought by committee, you don't really need Ryan Reeves. And you're in a salary cap world, and $1.3 million, that was the same amount of money as Steven Lorentz signed for this offseason, which I think is a bargain of a deal. I really do. I mean, he was a great player. He got 5 game-winning goals in the season. He got 18 points. Okay, he didn't do much in the playoffs. Well, I shouldn't say. He didn't get points in the playoffs. Like, he really got a couple of assists. But he's really good forechecking and stuff. So you look at teams that win the Stanley Cup, like Florida, they win off of depth players, and 1.3 million brings you another great depth player. I think if Ryan Leafs was dropping the gloves, playing 60-plus games a year, getting 100 penalty minutes, I think you would Nordy off-ice Grammer and keep him. But
no, you wouldn't.
between him
No, you
only
wouldn't.
having
And
2
you wouldn't
fights
because the Leafs
and the
have had a
off-ice
culture problem.
Grammer, you have to get rid of him.
The Leafs have had a culture problem, and let's be honest, the Toronto media are sharks. So when you have this problem with Ryan Reeves, and you know he won't shut the up, as the girl above the lizard named George talked about, you have to get him out of the arena. And I also think it said something when he said he wants to play for a championship caliber team, and then Tree Living sent him to San Jose. I'm just you. It's like, look, you know what? You're causing too many problems. We're not even going to try to move you somewhere you want to go. Have a nice life. Get the bleep out of Toronto. Lane, go ahead.
California.
Lane, go ahead.
So that's the one, and that's the one thing that, you know, I don't but the cap. Here's the one thing that's interesting about that whole conversation. If they really wanted to keep Reeves was the way Reeves' contract was put together was that they could have just put him in the NHL and they wouldn't have had to worry about the money. It would have gone off the books. So that because the way his contract was, so that whole thing about how they needed the cap, they didn't. They could have just put him in the Mars. The reason he got traded is because he literally went behind our back and told Mitch Marner to sign in Vegas. That's it. He's a sour boy because he can't do what he's completely useless at this point in his career. He's going to do nothing. He's going to get 3 points in San Jose while Macklin Celebrini plays. He's going to sit in the press box in San Jose, go sit on the beach. His career is over. He's sad that he can't do it in Toronto, so he had to go sit in the press box and try to be a bad person in our locker room, just like Max Pacioretty, who I could care 2 craps about. You can go play somewhere else too, because you and him should not be going around our team telling other players to go play. We need people who want to play here. That's why we got Steven Laurent. That's why we got Matthew Knives, because the passion needs to be here. Mitch Marner, Ryan Reeves, Max Pacioretty, bye-bye. See you later. Get out of here. I said it after the playoffs. I want people who play for the damn jersey. I'll say it here. I'll say it now. I'll say it October 5th. I'll say it on Christmas. I'll say it in July. I want people who play here. Ryan Reeves, bye-bye. Max Pacioretty, bye-bye. Mitch Marner, bye-bye. And the next guy who doesn't want to be here, see you later. Pack your bags and leave now. Play here or go away.
I just gotta say one thing. That's a great rant, Mr. Lane Dasco. I gotta say one thing. If you're Mitch Marner and you're about to sign around $100 million contract and you're taking your life financial advice on $100 million contract from Ryan Reeves, I think you got a little bit of a problem. Ryan Reeves, but he's not known for making smart business moves.
No, but I am behind Lane 100% here. And
it's gross.
Aren't having the right attitude. I don't care if it's your best player. You need to let them go. Ryan Dinwiddie talked about this, and you might say, why am I bringing up the Argos about the Leafs? Well, the Argos have won championships recently, and they have won championships more off culture. You look, they're not the most skilled team in the league, but they've had a winning culture, and a winning culture is players who want to be here. If you're talking halfway through the season, hey man, what was it like to play in Vegas? And then the other guy's answering, then it's a problem in your dressing room. So I don't think Pacioretty's re-signing as a Maple Leaf.
No, I don't want
to. He would have by now. I don't know if anyone's going to sign Pacioretty. To be completely
honest. But that's just what Devil's advocate here, okay? If I'm Ryan Reeves and Mitch Marner asks me, oh, how's it like playing in Vegas? What am I supposed to say? Lie to him? Oh no, it's crap.
No, honestly, I would say to him, look, man, right now, let's just focus on this season. That's what.
That's a stupid answer. It's like
it's not a stupid answer.
If you care about your team,
Dan, that would be like if you were working here and you start asking Lane what it's like working for a different podcast during the show.
Literally. Or like
during
imagine
the show being like, hey Lane, do you think I should go work a Spittin' Chicklets?
Yeah, you're not. Either you're here, you're not.
I can hold the mic like this.
I'm sorry. I just think it's gross. Like, I don't care what the interpretation of it was. You went to you were obviously disappointed with your role here because you were only playing 7 games or whatever it was. We don't need you anymore. So you were souring your role, and you decided to go around and tell people to leave the team. You can say how it was, but you did what you did at the end of the day. You've been nothing but a problem lately. You're saying that the team doesn't trust you and that, so then bye. Then just go. Then
Man,
why
I
do you
think
got
it's been more
stop
than
talking?
I think it's more of the recent interviews than the Marner situation. He just showed that you can't have him in Toronto media. So then you had to move him. You can't have player. And also, too, if Austin Matthews is doing this, you maybe try to make it work because he's one of the best goal scorers in the NHL. Ryan Reeves isn't even good at what he's good at anymore. So there was no reason to keep him. But it is time that we sign off for the night because it is.
Can I just say when Lane gets warmed up for his ramp, it brings me back to my childhood of the Jack in the Box. Do you know what's coming? And you can feel it's coming. And then
Awesome. Well, what do you think, Chazzy? Do you think Ryan Reeves? What do you think of that situation?
Turn the page, boys. Leave the past in the past. But anyway, he's gonna.
You're saying leave the past in the past. That means you can't talk about Carey Price's playoff runs ever again, my friend.
He's fine where he is now. He's gonna live his.
Remember, he's a free agent coming up. He's gonna be the best goalie available.
We should
Probably his best goalie.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame soon enough.
I don't want to get in the Hall of Fame conversation, but it is time we sign off.
We won't start the analyst on that with Joseph not in there yet.
Mr. Moore, what is your island mindset?
Well, I did have one in place, but something crazy happened the past day that kind of added to that too. Legendary Ozzy Osbourne passed away from Parkinson's the other day. We have some great fans of the podcast who are great Ozzy and rock fans as well. And just want to say rest in peace to a legend. He did a lot of good. Fortunately, Parkinson's kind of got the best of him. I give him and his family a lot of credit for being open about the Parkinson's. I think it's a disease that doesn't get enough attention. Jacobs and I are huge Argo fans because of our grandpa. And grandpa had Parkinson's, lived with a very long 6 years and survived as long as he could, but it's a very hard disease to live with and it doesn't get enough attention for whatever reason. So I give him a lot of credit for being open about it. And I thought the fact that he did his last concert when he did was a really special, magical moment for him and his fans and his family. And for him to spend his last few days on Earth like that, I think was absolutely incredible. So good on him. And the other thing I wanted to mention about maybe this would be a separate mindset. I don't know. We'll just leave it like that for now.
Well, the undecided Dan brings some very good mindsets. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. And for anyone who is dealing with Parkinson's, there are people who are there to support you and there are support groups and they are working on a cure. So just remember that. You can always do your research on it too if you want to learn more. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Island podcast. If you're looking for more Streakers Island content, because I know you're looking for it, I see your eyes. I see you, Blaine. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. By the way, I saw like 5 lanes earlier today. It was terrifying. So I'm Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by one Chazzy 7.2, one Lane Dashing Dashco, and one Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
We'll be back on the weekend with some pregame and postgame shows.
Bye-bye.